Hi, my name is Olivia Chun, and today for the Kupuna Project, I'm going to be interviewing my Auntie Darcie.
Hi, my name is Darcie Logan. I am very good friends with Olivia's mom and grandma, and we've known each other since forever. I consider Olivia part of our family.
Oh. And what food are we going to be talking about today?
I believe we are talking about ozoni, which is a traditional Japanese dish served on New Year's Day, typically. Um, so my family will serve ozoni. So the type of soup varies by region depending on where you live in Japan. It's believed to have originated as an offering to gods, and the soup is cooked and eaten on New Year's Day. So again, depending on the traditions you grew up with, some families eat it for breakfast in the morning after they wake up. My family eats it just after midnight. So after we pop the midnight fireworks, my mom starts cooking it early from 7 o'clock. She would start cooking it from 7 o'clock, boiling the soup, making the soup, and then right at midnight, she would add in all the other items and then serve it right after midnight.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And what is the significance of eating ozoni on New Year's Day?
It's supposed to give you good fortune, prosperity, and long, healthy life. So when you boil the mochi is long and stringy, right? So that's the symbolism for the long life.
Nice. And how long does it, or like, what goes into preparing ozoni and then making it too?
So typically, again, depending on the regions you live in, my mom was always very simplistic. We just had the soup, the mochi, the vegetable called mizuna, and kamaboko. Some other families will put all kinds of things in it. My neighbor who invites us over for New Year's all the time, for ozoni in the morning, they will boil the soup and then allow you to fill the soup with what you want. And they put out all different kinds of condiments like carrots and um, bread and tofu and mochi and chicken. So again, it all depends on what each person grew up with.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And do you know if um your family's ozoni is from the Kanto or Kansai style?
I really couldn't tell you. I would say it's probably from the Kansai region because we use the round mochi. So
Hmm.
there's two different types of mochi people can use. And my family, I have actually gone and made mochi for New Year's. So my uncle, um, my dad's brother and his family would actually make mochi. So we'd go to the house, we'd wash the rice the night before, soak it, and then they cook it. They cook it in like steamers, and it takes a couple of hours to cook the rice, and then you pound the rice into so it's grains of rice that you pound into the paste or the mochi, and then you would shape the mochi, and then you would flour the mochi, and then you lay it out and take it home. So you kind of have to time it for New Year's. So it's always between Christmas and New Year's that we would do it. Typically, we would do it the Sunday before New Year's. So depending on when Christmas fell and New Year's fell, um, you could either use it right away the next day, or you'd have to refrigerate it just to make sure that the mold doesn't grow on it. But
Huh.
we typically have always used the round, fresh mochi as long as we can get it. If we don't, or if we didn't know anybody who was making or didn't know anybody to get it from, then my mom would resort to using the dried mochi that you'd have to rehydrate.
Wow, that's awesome. And do you still make ozoni today?
We do. Typically, New Year's is always spent at my brother's house. So when my mom passed away, my brother took over the tradition of making the soup. So to go back to answer that first question you had, the last question you had, what goes into making it? Again, my mom would start it usually about 7 o'clock at night. She'd use ebi or dried shrimp to make the soup base, and kombu, and she'd start cooking it around 7 o'clock. She'd put a pot of water on the stove, put in the ebi and the kombu, and she just let it boil or simmer to create the soup base. And usually about 11:30, she'd go ahead and start adding the mizuna, which is the green leafy vegetable. And usually about maybe 2 or 3 minutes before we're going to sit down and eat the soup, she would add the mochi, the fresh mochi, if it was fresh, because you don't need very long for it to cook and you don't want it to disintegrate. You want it to still
Mm.
stay solid, but soft. So it takes a couple of minutes, depending on the temperature of the soup, to come to the right consistency to be able to eat it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Do you have anything else to add about the soup?
Um, no, I think the hard part is as the generations have gone on, the traditions are not necessarily as well received. So my
Mm.
children don't really care for eating ozoni. I do make them eat it because it's a tradition. And I tell them that they have to actually eat a mochi because of the what it represents. But it's hard to get them to buy into the tradition as we become more Americanized. So, but I
Mm.
hope to be able to continue the tradition going into the next generations or so.
Yeah, that'd be great. I love Ozoni.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for
you're
meeting with
very
me
welcome.
today. I really appreciate it. And this
No
was so
problem.
interesting to learn about. Thank
It,
you.
it's kind of fun. I mean, if you go online, you can see the different types of ozoni. Like I said, ours is very simplistic. We just do the mochi, the kamaboko, the mizuna, and maybe some of the dried bread, but other people will put all kinds of things in it. And some look so beautiful. Just the
Mm.
presentation is very artistic. So again,
Yeah.
depending on the region and depending on your family tradition. But either way, I think it's good. So enjoy it.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're very
Thank you so
welcome.
much.